I did say there'd be more, sorry about that, but I did promise more Evil Dead content, and god damn it, I'm not gonna stop. We still have more Evil Dead things to talk about until I get back into my other videos that I planned. So, let's talk about how we might see Ashy Poo in Evil Dead 2. And by Evil Dead 2, I mean Evil Dead Rise 2, because this movie was really good. So I know it's gonna get a sequel. So, lucky for us, Screen Rant has 10 groovy ways Bruce Campbell's Ash can return in Evil Dead 2. Because, technically, Ash had a voice cameo, but it wasn't Ash. But it could have been Ash because of the time travel theory, because Ash time traveled in Army of Darkness. It even mentions here that Ash did have a cameo in the 2013 Evil Dead remake, and his last adventure was in Ash vs. Evil Dead, but Evil Dead Rise 2 could retcon Ash vs. Evil Dead's ending, because in Ash vs. Evil Dead, Ash got flung into the future, and he's stuck there. Last time we saw him, he was stuck there. And since Ash vs. Evil Dead was canceled, we don't know what was gonna happen next. Ash is probably still in the future at this point in the timeline, so the easiest way to bring Ash back to the modern day is to simply retcon the end of the show, because retcons are difficult sometimes. It would mean Ash will return in the sequel to Evil Dead Rise if they do that. Ash vs. Evil Dead's Necronomicon story could also play into Evil Dead Rise 2. Another option for Ash's return could be for Evil Dead Rise 2 to directly build off of Ash vs. Evil Dead story. In Ash vs. Evil Dead, it heavily builds upon the lore of the Necronomicon, adding all kinds of plot elements that could unite the characters of Evil Dead Rise with Ash Williams, and probably also Mia Allen from Evil Dead the Remake. It could be that the Necronomicon chooses one of the characters as its host, or it could be that someone like Ruby uses their powers to bring the characters together. Ash vs. Evil Dead gives the Necronomicon all kinds of new powers, and these could be used to bring Ash back. Also, Evil Dead 2 could reintroduce time travel, because, like I've mentioned before, Army of Darkness and Ash vs. Evil Dead had time travel in it, so yeah. Also, the events of Evil Dead Rise could cause Ash to start fighting Deadites again. Since making Ash vs. Evil Dead's ending non-canonical seems like the only likely option due to the show's cult status, the rest of these theories will all operate under that assumption. One of the simplest ways to have Ash return would be to just have him start fighting Deadites again after the events of Evil Dead Rise. Realizing that the Necronomicon has been activated again, it is likely that Ash will jump back into action, allowing him to fight Deadites once again in Evil Dead Rise 2. Here's my little thing. Again, I once saw a fanfic where Ash meets Mia, and they decide to live together because they both lost their hand, they're both fucked up, and they both lost a sibling. So possibly, this will tie into the next day that Ash could hunt the Necronomicon in Evil Dead Rise 2. I'm thinking that, I'm not gonna read off of this. Here's just what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the way they could connect, the remake and Ash is that Mia Allen and Ash Williams are gonna team up, and they're gonna look for Deadites, and, they're gonna establish, that, they fight Deadites, and then, which connects to this other thing that Evil Dead Rise 2 could see Beth looking for Ash. Maybe she goes to Michigan, where Ash is from, and hears about Ash's adventures. Or maybe she goes to where Mia was. I'm pretty sure Mia was also in Michigan. If all this is in Michigan, Beth could somehow find out about Ash and Mia's horrors and ask them for help, which, would make sense. Oh, here's an interesting one. I've never heard of this, actually. This is an interesting theory. Ash could be related to Beth. Now, okay, so here's the family in Evil Dead Rise. If none of you are caught up with the lore, the movie is going to be streaming digitally soon. So, we had, Ellie. That was her name. That was the mom. And then we had her 3 kids, Bridget, Danny, and Annabelle. Ellie had a sister named Beth, so she was Auntie Beth to them. And, yeah, that's all you need to know about the family. We don't know much. All that the mom and dad are dead. Makes sense. Although Beth is Ash's replacement in Evil Dead Rise, Evil Dead Rise 2 could reveal that the two are actually related. The timelines would match up, and due to Ash being known for his frequent hookups, it's believable that he would have a daughter he doesn't know about. This would be a fun way to connect the two, as a father-daughter Deadite hunting duo would be a new twist in the Evil Dead formula. Now here's the problem with that before we get into the third thing. Ash already has a daughter, And I'm not saying they can't say Beth is Ash's daughter, but they said that Beth and Ellie's parents are dead. And like, I don't think that's gonna work. So I don't necessarily agree with that one. So let's just cross off that one. I didn't realize that would be so stupid. So let's get on to this one, which is just Ash could have another cameo in Evil Dead Rise 2. Now, I gotta listen. You gotta listen to me for a minute here. Ash's cameo in Evil Dead the remake was supposed to be way cooler and just more interesting. You see, in the Evil Dead remake, the cameo we originally got was Ash is saying groovy, and then the movie ends. What we were originally supposed to get was that after, when Mia just starts crawling on the street with no freaking arm, the bus driver and then the truck driver that encounters her was supposed to be Ash, but they said fuck that idea and threw it down the toilet and just made him say groovy. In this movie, we hear Bruce Campbell saying it's called the Book of the Dead for the reason, and people were saying it's Ash, and people were saying that the comics could connect to the lore, and people were saying no, so there's that. It's also possible that Ash could just have another cameo in Evil Dead Rise 2, allowing the film to stay focused on Beth. Ash only appeared in the post-credit scenes of the 2013 Evil Dead reboot, aka the remake, and he had a voice-only appearance in the Necronomicon recording for Evil Dead Rise. Bruce Campbell is known for his cameo appearances, like being in Spider-Man, and Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 3, and Sam Raimi's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Wait a minute, whatever. So, he could continue this job by having another small cameo, or, and I like this one a lot more, Ash could take over as, the main character, alright? Give that man his mental, alright? I say Beth should be sidelined. I mean, I'm not saying she should. But, okay, now here's the one that we've talked about before, how the next Evil Dead could be a crossover between all three series. I'm gonna link that video in the description, but without getting too deeply into it, my, video was about the fact that we could bring back Mia Allen, since we last saw the homegirl with no hand, and I guarantee you she's getting a chainsaw for a hand too. So, and it's like I mentioned before, I'm pretty sure that Mia Allen will eventually meet Ash, or she has met Ash, we just don't know it yet, and they've teamed up already, and then Evil Dead Rise 2 will show us Ash and Mia being teamed up, kind of having like a father-daughter duo in sort of a sense, since, well, Mia's brother's dead, and Ash's sister's dead. Hey, let's bond. My brother's dead. Oh, my sister's dead. I had to kill her. Oh, I had to kill my brother too. And, shake hands. Oh, wait, we both don't have right hands. Let's shake with our left hands, and then they meet Beth, or Beth finds them when we're trying to bring Annabelle and her baby to safety. Did I forget to mention that Beth is freaking pregnant? That woman fought freaking Deadites with a baby in her belly. I mean, it wasn't showing, but she was like, I'm pregnant, man. So that baby's gonna have some fucked up childhood, bro. Fucked up childhood. It's so crazy. But, although the future of Evil Dead Rise is uncertain, there are plenty of ways that the sequel could bring back Bruce Campbell's Ash Williams, and also, possibly, Mia Allen from the remake. Sorry, okay, there we go. Yeah. Sorry, I got a scam call. That was pretty weird. Anyways, so, yeah, that's another Evil Dead video. I wonder what I'm talking about now. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, jeez, no. Yeah. This is fake. You like it? It's Jason's machete. That reminds me, we got another video to talk about besides that, and that's Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. Hey!